Hello, I'm a modern-day Korean shaman. Korean shamanism is an ancient tradition that has evolved throughout Korean history and into modern times. Unlike many religious traditions, women play a significant role in shamanistic practices. Women are more likely to be called into shamanism than men. When they become shamans, their role changes completely from mother and wife status to fully serving spirits. Today, you will follow me as I visit two shamans from different time periods to explain the complex history of women in Korean shamanism through my visions.
I am a shaman, or mudang, from the Silla period of Korea. This period was from about 668 to 935 current era. It came after Silla rulers unified the three kingdoms of the Korean peninsula. In my time, us shamans are honored in the royal courts and looked up to by our local communities that we serve. During this period, shamans were not limited to align with any specific gender, and even kings were shamans. Us shamans are anyone who are called to connect with, understand, and channel the energy of spirits and deities. We are resources for the king, giving insight into spiritual influences that might impact the success of the state. Because the Silla state relies on agriculture, we pay special attention to influences on the harvest. Rulers rely on us to provide divination and spiritual readings, and in our communities, we are a medium for individuals to speak with and provide offerings to spirits and gods. In this way, we are honorably revered as servants of the spirits and of our people. In the later years of this period, we began to see an expanding influence of Buddhist beliefs in the spiritual practices of royal courts. Meanwhile, us shamans remained an important spiritual resource for our communities.
Hello, I am a shaman or mudang from the Jeju during the Joseon dynasty, and I am accused of exploiting innocent people. You see, the Goryeo period gave rise to prominent civil officials and literary figures schooled in Confucian classics, and they completely rejected shamans and native religious practices. The intolerance has continued because reformers such as Catholic missionaries, Confucian practitioners, the Japanese colonial regime, and the central government of the Republic of Korea criticize the moral economic value of my practice. They denounce shamanic rituals as wasteful, improper, and transgressive. Missionaries believe that I am the embodiment of Satan and are hateful towards local practitioners. Native Catholic converts are even worse than the missionaries. They continuously commit heinous crimes. They discriminate against me and call me ignorant and backwards. And they even burn down my shrine. The very few local elites and villagers who still understand the value of shamanism were offended by these crimes and joined the anti-Catholic rebellion. Shamanism is now a disgraceful profession for women. I'm an outcast in society, but I must bear the hardships because I was called to become a shaman, and now I cannot abandon my duties. I know that people still need me to help them solve their problems, so I must maintain strong and deal with the oppression. I'm glad to be in this vision and be consoled that in modern Korea things have changed and people are starting to appreciate shamanism once more. Indeed, no matter how hard other religions and philosophies try to destroy our tradition, we will continue to thrive.
Hello again. Now that you've heard from the shamans of the past, here's a look into what Korean shamanism is like now. When I received my calling to be a shaman, it took courage to follow through. I face backlash from some who think that my practices, such as animal sacrifice, are primitive and embarrassing to modern Korean society. In 1910, Korea was annexed by Japan. Along with Japanese leaders came Japanese ideas. One of them was incorporating shamanism or state Shinto into government. After Japan lost control of Korea in 1940, shamanism was reinstated. In the 1980s and 1990s, many anti-superstition laws were put into place by Christian leaders and almost all shrines were destroyed. Since the early 2000s, shamanism has had a resurgence in Korean culture. However, it is still looked down upon due to Christian values and is rarely practiced in Seoul. While it is difficult to have people look down upon me, I am grateful to be in South Korea where I am allowed to practice publicly. After Korea split in 1945, North Korea made shamanism illegal and punishable by jail or execution. To be a shaman takes great struggle. The backlash I face is part of my calling, and I am willing to accept it.
Korean shamanism is a vital aspect of traditional Korean culture that continues to flourish even today. It is important to learn and teach about these practices and how they were affected by colonization, missions, and natural cultural exchange. Shamans were, and still are, an important resource for their communities. Despite attempts to bury the tradition, shamans continue to practice today and maintain hope for a greater revival of traditional Korean culture.